floor, but have your strap handy so that when we go into the leg stretches, you've just got your strap next to you. So make your way down onto the floor, onto your back. Just have your feet resting mat width apart to start with, knees hammocked together. Roll the shoulders, shoulder blades underneath you, so you're opening the chest. Actually, we're going to start this morning just with your right hand on your belly and your left hand lightly on your chest. So we can just check that we're doing yogi breathing. So we can just allow the back of the body to rest onto the floor. And slowly turn your attention to the breath. So thinking about drawing the breath into the belly first. All the way up to the chest. Out of the chest, out of the belly. So you'll feel your right hand expand. Left hand expand and then softening from the chest. All the way down to the belly. Don't worry if your breath's not particularly long yet, because sometimes it takes a while to settle. But just trying to make sure that you use the full expanse of the lungs. At the end of the exhalation, sinking further into the mat. And then pausing before you inhale again. Maybe you can lengthen the breath a little bit now as you move into a place of quietness. Inhaling all the way up to the top of the collarbones. And then a long, slow exhalation. And then coming back to normal breath. So opening the eyes gently as we close them. I'm going to start by stretching out the left leg along the mat. Hugging the right knee in towards the chest. Squeezing the shin against the thigh, knee towards the underarm. Feeling length through the lower back. And in the hip flexor probably. Good, so what we're going to do this morning is extend the right leg up towards the ceiling without using the strap to start with. So really extend the left leg out along the mat. Draw the belly in so that you're controlling the midsection of your body. And then just extending that right leg up towards the ceiling. So it doesn't have to go straight. What we're trying to feel is that we're using the belly and we're using the top of the right thigh to create a hinge at the top of the right thigh and the foot stretching up towards the ceiling. So try and have your foot flexed. So imagine you're standing on the ceiling, but you might need to keep your knee bent to do that. So you can feel that you're using the strength around the middle of the body and the top of the leg to hold the leg up there. Might be helpful to rest your hand on your belly, even your left hand on your belly, so you can feel that sense of control around the torso. And then from there, without moving the hips, we're going to open the leg out towards the right, but only as far as you can control it. So you're not going to let it flop towards the right and let your hips roll over with it. You're going to keep your torso totally still and just extend the leg with control. So you're using the inner leg to control it. Using the belly, so it might only come out 45 degrees. Keep breathing, but keep the belly engaged. Inner thigh working. And then use the strength of your leg to bring the leg back to upright. And then we're going to cross it over the body now, cross the leg over towards the left. So again, your hips aren't coming off the floor, your belly's staying exactly as it was, shoulders relaxed. Just take the leg however far it wants to go over the body, so you're stretching the outer thigh now. Keep that gentle engagement around the center of the body, and then come back to center. Stretching the leg up towards the ceiling. See if you can straighten it a little bit more. Maybe it will go, but keeping control of the leg. Good. And then bend the leg in. Foot on the floor, and then change legs. So stretch the right leg out and hug the left knee in now. Nice squeeze. Nice exhale as you squeeze in. And then the same on this side. So first of all, extending the leg towards the ceiling. Hand on the right hand on the belly now. So you're using the strength of the belly and the hip flexor to point the leg up towards the ceiling, even if the knee's bent. Heel stretches away. So you'll feel if you flex the foot, draw the toes towards you, press the heel away, you get a stretch up the back of the leg, even if the knee's bent. So keep drawing the belly in. You could experiment with straightening the leg a little bit if it'll go. But using the top of the thigh to keep the leg pointing up to the ceiling, good. And then keeping the hips parallel, just opening the leg out towards the left. Keep that hand on the belly so you can feel if your hips going wonky, just as far as it will go under control. Inner thigh working. Keep the leg supported. Keep breathing, try not to hold your breath. And then when you're ready, using the inner thigh, draw the leg back up, upright. Stand on the ceiling again. And then over to the other side, gently with control. Keep both sides of the pelvis flat on the floor. So your leg might only go a couple of degrees over. So you can feel a stretch in the outer hip now and the buttock. One more breath here, and then bring it back to upright. Keep the knee as bent as it needs to be, but do stretch through the back of the leg, heel pressing towards the ceiling. Belly working, top of the thigh, squeezing, and then release. Give both knees a hug in. Give yourself a rock from side to side, and then we're going to do the same thing, but with the strap to help now. So it's more of a stretch this time than instead of strengthening. So stretch the right leg, left leg out along the floor, and this time lasso the right foot with your strap. So extending the leg towards the ceiling. So still feel like you've got that sense of drawing in at the top of the thigh and the belly, but this time you could also use the strap to encourage you into the stretch. So your shoulders should be relaxed down on the floor still, arms straight, so you don't have to, you're not yanking with your arms. And then see if you can replicate that feeling of drawing the thigh in under its own steam. So even though you've got the strap, still engage the leg, pressing the foot towards the ceiling. Inhaling, exhaling, lengthening through the back of the leg, even if the knee's bent, pressing the heel away. Good. And then take both straps into the right hand. Left hand can be on the belly again, so you can feel that the belly's working and the hips stay parallel. So open the right leg out towards the side. You can put your right elbow on the floor if that helps. So even though you've got the strap's there to help you stretch, but still control the leg with the belly and the inner thigh. One more breath there. And then draw the leg back to center. Try and use the leg rather than pulling it with the arm. And swap sides with the strap, so the strap's on your left arm. And then leg coming across the body. So again, still control the movement with the leg. The strap's just there to help you stretch. Inhaling, exhale. And come back to center. And release off, change sides, stretch the right leg out, hook the left toes, Extend the foot towards the ceiling. Remember to keep the back of the body relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And still using the power of the thigh and the hip flexor to draw the leg towards you. But you can use the strap to help draw the toes down, heel away. Belly still engaged, keep the leg upright. And then changing the strap into the left, both straps into the left arm. Right hand on your belly, open the leg out to the side with control. So if it's easier, you can rest your elbow on the mat while you're holding the strap. Or it might not be close enough. Keep the leg extending, even if the knee in the bend, keep the leg active, even if there's a bend in the knee. And then use the leg to draw it up vertical, change sides of the straps, coming over the body the other way. Nice long stretch through the outer leg. Extending the leg away and across. Coming back up to center. Pressing the foot towards the ceiling one more time. You're using the thigh to draw the leg in towards you. And then releasing off the strap. Hug both knees in again. Give yourself a sway from side to side. And then rock yourself up to sitting. So you can take a few rocks backwards and forwards. Make your way up to sitting. Come into cross leg when you're ready. Hopefully that's woken up the front of your legs. So bring the hands to the shoulders when you get there. We're just going to make some nice big circles with the elbows. So feel the shoulder blades drawing back, chest opening, and then rounding through the upper back as your elbows come forward. Change directions. Rounding the back, the elbows come forward, opening the chest as they go back. Nice big full circles. Inhaling. Exhaling. And resting the hands down on the lap. So we'll take a side stretch. So reach the right arm up to the sky, left arm resting lightly on the mat, lengthen through the right side of the body. So feel like your waist is really long. So you're relaxing down heavily through the right hip, but finding length through the waist. Inhaling there to the side of the body. Exhaling, fingertips stretching. Inhale back to center. And then lifting up the left arm now, right arm resting. Find length, heavy through the left hip. The left hip sinks down. Left fingertips stretching towards the corner of the room. Inhale into the space between the ribs. One more breath in. And then come back up. Nice. Roll over onto all fours. So we're in tabletop pose. So we're just going to start with puppy pose. So just like we did against the wall last week, you're going to walk, keep the knees where they are, keep the hips over the knees, walk the hands forward and descend the chest towards the mat. So your forehead can be resting on the floor. So it reaches. So you're softening between the shoulder blades, descending the chest towards the mat. Extending under the arms. So your fingertips should be middle finger should be pointed forward, arms should be pressing the mat away, hands should be pressing the mat away. And then softening through the chest. One more breath here. And then walk the hands back towards you. Excellent. So step the right foot forward between the hands. We're just going to come straight up into a vertical lunge. So like we did last week, rather than hips coming forward, keep the hips upright, tuck the tailbone under so you feel length through the right leg. Sorry, the left thigh. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the belly in, just as you were when you're lying on the mat, and then extend the arms up, length. Shoulders drawing down, fingertips reaching up. Tuck the tailbone under so you're finding length through that left hip flexor. Good. And then release, hands by the side of the foot, and then we're going to sway the weight back into the left knee. Draw the right toes up towards us, so we're stretching through the hamstring. So draw the right hip back. Mine's got a real tendency to lift up as soon as I do that. So draw the right hip back so your pelvis is coming level, up on the fingertips. So trying to create a hinge at the top of the right hip. So drawing the chest forwards rather than rounding too much through the back. So you're almost sticking your bottom out and then reaching the chest forward. And you'll feel the more you draw the toes towards you, the more you'll feel the stretch in the back of the hamstring. And then rocking the weight forward so that you can step that foot back into all fours. Change legs, left leg forward, come up into an upright lunge, tuck the tailbone under, lengthen through the front of the right leg this time. And then when you're ready, reach the hands up. So we've got a long line between knee and fingertips. Shoulders drawing down, arms stretching towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale there. And then hands by the side of the foot, rock the weight back. Bring the left toes up towards you. Drop that, draw that left hip back. So you're sticking your bottom out behind you. Pelvis nice and level. And then drawing the chest forwards, creating a hinge at the top of the left leg. So your knee can be bent, obviously, if it needs to be. Either a little bit bent or a lot bent, as long as you're feeling a stretch at the top of the hamstring. Rock the weight forward again, and then step that foot back so you're coming into downward facing dog. And we're going to tuck the toes under and come into downward facing dog, bending the knees. Bend the knees really deeply to start with, and then release the chest towards the mat. Hands pressing the floor away. The more you press the hands into the floor, the more you'll lift the weight out of the wrist, so you're not dumping it into the wrists. And then stretch the right leg straight. And then stretch the left leg straight. So pedaling in your own time, one foot and the other, feeling the length that creates through the calf and the hamstring. So a few more times, just pedaling one foot and then the other. And then bring both legs towards the same position. So knees probably still slightly bent. Send the sitting bones high. Send the chest towards the mat. And then stepping the right foot forward between the hands. Drop the back knee down. And this time we're coming into a lower lunge. So the hips are descending towards the mat. Planting the left hand. Turning towards the right. Extending the right arm towards the ceiling. Into a twist. So press the left hand into the floor to help you open up into that side twist. And then coming back to center. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Lift the hips high, descend the chest. And then step the left foot forward now. Same on the other side. Drop the back knee down. Lifting the chest, coming up onto fingertips. Allowing gravity to draw the pelvis towards the floor. Plant the right hand, turn to the left, open the arm up. You're still sinking down through the pelvis, but twisting from the waist up between the shoulder blades. And then the arm follows. Nice deep breath in and out. And then hands by the side of the foot again, step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath there, and then step the right foot forward again. Drop the hips down, lift the chest. So what we're going to do now is turn the body just as we were doing before. So plant the left hand, twist the body towards the right leg, and then see if you can lift up the back foot. So the back foot comes up, the left foot comes up. So it might just come up and you can stay there. If you're getting cramped, then come back down again. I find if I lift my foot up with a flex foot, I don't get cramped so much. And then you can have a go. Can you reach round with your right hand and catch the foot? If you can't reach, your strap's still handy. Catch hold of your strap. Use your strap to lasso your foot. That's good. So either just holding the foot up in the air or lassoing it, or maybe even catching hold of it with your hand. And once you've got there, softening it into the front of the thigh. This is a big quad stretch. But also twisting still towards the right side. You're opening up through that right shoulder. Good. And then releasing the foot off carefully if you're holding onto it or lassoed it. Hands on the side of the foot again. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. And then other foot, step the right foot forward. Drop the back knee down. So you're still planting your right hand, twisting towards the left like you did before. And then seeing if you can lift that foot off the floor. If it's cramping, just bring it back down again. Maybe have another go when the cramp's eased off. Otherwise, catching hold of it with your hand or lassoing it with your strap, if that's more accessible for you. Big stretch through the front of the thigh. So still, so if you can release the hips towards the floor. Inhale, exhale. Send the breath into the front of the thigh. Good. One more breath there. And then release off carefully. Back to the floor. Hands to either side of the foot, step back. Downward facing dog. Okay. So we're going to walk the hands towards the feet and come into a relaxed forward fold. So your feet are firm, but the spine is cascading away from the points of the hips. Hold on to elbows, give yourself a sway from side to side. Inhaling deeply, exhaling. Your spine elongate. Your crown of the head forward, down towards the mat. Taking the hands off, just lightly putting the hands behind you on the calf. So I think we did this a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to lightly press the calves into the hands. So can you feel if you press the calves into the hands and lift the tailbone a little bit, you can feel a different kind of stretch through the hamstrings because the hamstrings are active and long. So rather than thinking about straightening the knees, you're just thinking about pressing the legs back. Definitely not trying to draw the torso in, the torso is just hanging, but just activating the back of the legs. Just a couple more moments like that. Pressing lightly into the hands and then release all the way down again, just flop. Hold on to the elbow. Good. Fine. Then we'll just take that one more time. So catching hold lightly, hands resting on the calves, just pressing the calves into the hands, tilting the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, breathe through it. Try not to tense up through the neck. Just a light pressing, that's all you need. Good, one more moment there. And then flop again. Excellent. Bend the knees. And uncurl. Coming back up, standing. Good. So we're just going to do one more thigh front, open over the front of the thigh. But this is going to be against the wall. So we did this one the other day. So bring your mat towards a wall. You only did a little bit of wall. In the picture. So you can either use a blanket over your knee, or you can fold your mat up double, so you've got more padding on your knee if your mat's quite thin. So we're going to reverse our way towards the wall, so that your right knee is against the wall and your shin is vertical up the wall behind you. And then the left foot steps forward. So you're like this. Okay. So just as we were doing, it's exactly what we were doing when we're holding our foot, but the wall's holding your foot up for you. Okay, so start off with the hands on the floor, sinking the hips, allowing the hips to sink forward. A nice deep stretch through the quads. Really important to keep breathing. Okay, so either that, if that's enough for you, stay there. If that's already like enough of a stretch and you're breathing through it nicely, that's fine. Or if you want a little bit more, you can lift up so that your elbows are resting on your left knee. So try and smile, because it does help relax you. Let go through the hips. Come back to that nice, slow, deep breathing. Exhale to release. You can put your hands on your knees if you want to come up higher. One more deep breath. Good. Bring the hands down and then get out of it however you can, carefully. No way to come out of that elegantly, I don't think. And then change legs. So reverse your left knee up towards the wall again. Just make sure the shin's vertical up the wall. Not at a funny angle. Step the right foot forward. So you want to step your right foot forward enough so that you can sink the hips down. So that's already quite a deep stretch once you release through the hips. You might find that one leg is much stiffer than the other. So nice, deep, slow breaths, allowing the body, giving the body time to respond to what you're asking it to do. And then if you want to lift up a little bit on elbows onto the knee and you did the other side, then go ahead. If not, stay with the hands on the floor. Nice, deep, slow breaths. Giving those big muscles in the front of the legs permission to release. The hip flexors permission to release. If you came up onto the hands on the other side, hands on the knees, then do so now. One more deep breath. And then release off. And find your way back down again. Come away from the wall, and then we'll just come back to away from the wall again. That's all we need the wall for this morning. Come back to where you were. Excellent. So we'll come up standing. Hopefully we can still move after that. Come to a nice mountain pose. Pressing the floor away. Just start to move into some sequences now. So shoulders relaxed and down, crown of the head drawing up, chin tucked in, openness across the top of the chest, but sense of grounding through the feet and the hips. Bring the hands to prayer. And then when you're ready, inhale to stretch up. Exhale, fold forward, bent knees, forward fold again, just as we were doing before. Inhale, come up halfway to a flat back, send the tailbone away. Crown of the head reaching forward, so your back's like a table. Exhale, folding back down again, releasing through the spine. Inhale, reach all the way up. Look up, lift up. And hands back to prayer. Next time we'll step back. I'm just going to have to move away from my cheese plant. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, long spine. Exhale, step the right leg back. The left leg follows it straight back into downward facing dog. Hopefully you're Hamstrings are feeling a bit looser now, so maybe your legs are a little bit less bent. Inhale, sweep the right leg up into three-legged dog, keep the hips parallel. Exhale, come forward into plank, three-legged plank. Inhale, press back up into three-legged dog. Use the hands, press the floor away, and then bring that right leg back down. Same on the other side. Inhale, three-legged dog. Squeeze the back of the leg. Exhale, rock forward into a three-legged plank. So your foot doesn't have to be far off the ground. Engage the belly, hips parallel. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, foot back down to the floor. Come down onto your knees for a moment. Sit back onto your heels, and I'm just going to show you the next bit, because otherwise it'll be quite hard to do and watch. So just watch me for a second. This looks really hard, but just have a go. So we're just going to start like we did before. Three-legged dog, coming into three-legged plank. And then we're just going to have a go at being brave, rocking the weight into the right hand, stretching the left hand forward. So opposite arm and leg, otherwise I'll definitely fall over. Put the hand back, and then go back up to three-legged dog and change onto the other side. We'll just do that once each side. Just have a go. Remember to press through the hand, so you're lifting after the wrist. So come back into all fours, tuck the toes under, lifting the tailbone up. Downward facing dog. So just find your downward facing dog calmly. Relax the neck. Inhale, exhale, and then on your next inhalation, sweeping the right leg up. And then rocking forward, three-legged plank. So keep the torso really straight and strong. Extend the back leg out. Put weight into your right hand. Just see if you can lift the left hand up. Reach it long and away. Hand back down to the floor. Stretch the leg back up. Three-legged dog. And back to the floor. Other side. Inhale. Three-legged dog. Exhale, rock forward. Find your balance in the plank. Weight into the left hand. Strong through center of the body. Stretching arm and leg away. Hand back to the floor. Press back up. Downward facing dog. Foot to the floor. Normal down dog. Excellent. Knees to the floor. Sit back into child's pose. Bottom onto the heels. Arms stretching forward. Inhale, exhale, get your breath back there. Good. Come up onto all fours. And then just rock the weight forward over the hands, walk the hands a little bit further forward. So the weight's over the hands, dropping the chest to the mat, leaving the bottom up in the air. So you're just coming down, chest and chin, all the way to the floor now. Onto the belly. And release the head to one side. Relax the whole body down. So I'm going to do a couple of diagonal movements on the floor here as well. First of all, we're just going to start off with locust. So bring your forehead facing down on the floor. Palms face down. Lift the chest up. Activate the back. Roll the shoulders back. So you're peeling the front of the body away from the floor, keep long through the neck, and then straighten your legs really strong until they lift off the floor just a little bit. So toes stretching away, bottoms squeezing, back of the legs working. And then release all the way down, turn the head the other side. Inhale, exhale. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So bring your head so it's straight on. Peel the chest off. Roll the shoulders back. Palms of the hands facing the floor. And then lengthen the legs. Squeeze the bottom. Lift the legs off as well. So the whole of the back of the body is working. And release all the way down. Head to one side. Nice steady breathing. Good. And then we're going to take that in a more diagonal fashion. So you're going to bring your right hand on top of your left and underneath your forehead. And then you're going to bring your right hand to the back of your forehead. So the left hand's where it is, the right hand's on the forehead. And you're just going to lift up from there. So try not to press the floor away with your left hand. Try and use your back to lift you up. Good. And then straighten the left leg, lengthen the left leg and just lift the left leg a little bit off the floor. So you feel a diagonal stretch from the top of the right and the bottom of the left. Good. And release down. Let go of everything and maybe sway your hips from side to side. And then we'll do the other side. So swap the hands so that the left hand is on top. So you're doing your salute with your left hand, lifting the body off the floor. So you're not pressing the floor away with your right hand, you're using the back muscles to lift up and then lengthen the right leg so much that that lifts off the floor. Again, try not to press down too much with the right arm. Breathe. And release down. Good. Just rest there. Head on the hands, soften through the back. Inhale, exhale. Good. Last thing on the floor. So coming up so that the elbows are under the shoulders. Coming into Sphinx pose. The elbows under the shoulders, hands reaching forward and parallel. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the chest forward. You can lift the chin a little bit if that's not uncomfortable for your back. So really feel like you're drawing the mat towards you with the forearms. Good. And then clasp the hands together, interlace the fingers, and we're going to come up into plank pose from here. So you need to peel the ribs away from the mat, peel the belly away from the mat so you're up on your knees. So you really should feel really strong through the front of the body. Tuck the toes under, and then the last bit is to straighten the legs. So you're doming between the shoulder blades, pressing the forearms into the mat, drawing the belly and the chest away from the floor. Strong, straight legs. Good, a couple more moments here. And then walk the feet towards you so that you're coming into downward facing dog with your arms like this. So walk the feet towards you however far they want to go. Lift the hips high. So you're going to have to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Press with the forearms. Feel that the chest is coming towards the thighs. Lift the hips. Pressing down through the forearms. Strong shoulders. Good. And then come back down onto your knees. Child's pose, and this time have the hands resting parallel to the shins. Give the shoulders a rest. Forehead on the floor. Nice deep breath in and out. Okay. Good. Well done. Coming up onto all fours, tucking the toes under, downward facing dog once more. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale, step it all the way between the hands. Round the left heel, coming up into warrior. Well done. So descending towards the floor, shoulders relaxed, both feet firmly planted into the floor. Let's come into reverse warrior. Find that length through the side of the body. Just as we were doing at the beginning, lifting out of the hip, waist long, and come back to warrior. And then turn to face the long end of your mat. Heel toe the feet in a bit closer together, so you're in a forward fold position. And then we're going to come into a forward fold with a flat back. So flat back first, sweeping down into forward fold. So just the same as we were doing with the legs together, just going to lightly catch hold behind the calf. Just a little bit of a press of the calf into the hands. That should help you lift the tailbone up and away. Activate the muscles in the back of the legs. Head still relaxed, body still relaxed, and then release that off and just hang. So let your hands rest on the floor in line with the feet. Crown of the head stretching towards the floor. And then bending the knees, just come up standing. And we'll turn to do warrior on the other side. So left toes forward. Right toes across the mat, come into warrior on the other side. So the tailbone heavy, dropping like a plumb line between the strong foundation of the 2 feet. Coming into reverse warrior, length through the side of the body. Inhale, exhale. Come back up to warrior. And then turning the feet to face forward again. But this time, heel toe them in to their sort of a 45-degree angle. Come down into a squat. Elbows resting lightly on the knees. And then slide the arms down so that your elbows are sort of towards the inside of the knees. So your elbows are very, very lightly encouraging the knees apart. So you should feel that stretch, gentle stretch through the inner groins. Keep the floor, feet firmly pressing into the floor. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. And coming back up standing. Heel toe the feet all the way back into mountain pose. So just standing here a moment, you can close your eyes if you want to. Feet firmly grounded into the mat. The rest of the body lifting out towards the sky. Okay. So we're going to finish with some straightforward but effective standing poses, also strengthening the outer hips. So we're going to transfer the weight into the left leg, and you're going to really firm up the left thigh and the left buttock, so you can even put your hand on your left buttock. So when we lift the right leg up, I don't want to see the hips shearing off towards the right. You really need to keep them drawn in. So really strong foundation, and then just lift the right leg up so it comes towards the chest, foot flexed. Keep your hand on that buttock, make sure the supporting leg is really strong. And then keeping that nice and strong, we're going to open that knee out towards the side, just as far as it will go. It's more about keeping the strength through the standing leg. Good. Keep the belly drawn in to help bring it back center. Don't put it down, I'm just going to turn sideways to show you what we're doing next. So keep that firmness through the left leg, and then we're just going to send the right leg so it points backwards. So the thighs are kind of now in line. So don't lose that control of the supporting leg, just pointing the foot backwards, drawing the thigh back in line, and then bring it back up towards the chest. Use the belly to draw it in and release. Well done. So we'll do the same on the other side. So hand on the right bottom now, right buttock, firm up the right side of the body, thigh, buttock, and then lift the left leg up. Excellent. Use the belly, so like just as we were doing at the beginning on the floor, use the belly to draw the thigh in. And then when you're ready, opening it out to the side without losing that firm foundation through the foot, the thigh, the buttock. Keep breathing. Come back to center. Try not to let the knee drop away yet. And then when you're ready, posting the leg backwards. So thighs are coming in line. So you're not tipping forward on this one. You're keeping the hips pressing forward. Good. And then knee back up. Hopefully to about 90 degrees. Good. And release off. Excellent. Give your legs a bit of a shake. Probably need it now. Good. Excellent. So we'll do one more sequence to finish off with. So come to the front of the mat one more time. One more final hamstring stretch. Bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, exhale there. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, float forwards all the way into forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right leg back. Left leg follows, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up and back. Hips parallel. Step the right foot forwards. And then this time we're going to step the back foot in a foot, turn the toes to 45 degrees so that we're coming into Parsvottanasana. So this is exactly what we were doing at the beginning on our knees, but standing on our feet now. So come up high onto your fingertips if you need to. So try and draw the right hip back. Your front knee might be bent a little bit if that's more accessible for you, but you're trying to create that hinge at the top of the front leg. So try and draw the right hip down and back. Draw the chest forward. Big stretch through the front of the hamstring. Good. So then bring the weight forward, either side of the hands again, so you can step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga all the way down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up and back, squeeze bottom. Exhale, step it between the hands. And then step the back foot in a little bit, a foot. Heel down onto the floor, foot at 45 degrees. Front knee, front legs towards straight. Draw the left hip back and down. See if you can create that hinge again at the top of the thigh. So belly drawn in. Crown of the head reaching forward, chest reaching out over the outstretched leg. Check the front foot. Are you rolling into the arch? If so, see if you can even out the weight in that front foot. Inhale, exhale. Good. Hands either side of the foot. Bend the front knee so you can step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Last time. Actually, that'd be naughty. So from there, stay in plank. Lift the right leg up just a couple of inches. Stabilizing through the body again. Change sides. Lift the left leg up just a couple of inches. Squeeze the bottom anyway. And back to the floor. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, roll the shoulders back into cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Bottom back to the heels. Forehead on the floor. Your choice whether you like the arms stretched out or whether you want to bring them in line with the shins. And let go for the shoulders. And take a deserved rest. Good. Uncurl. Coming up to kneeling. And then make your way down onto the floor. We're just going to finish with bridge. So we're going to do it slightly differently to focus on strengthening through the front of the thighs again. So roll your way down onto the mat. Bring your feet close to the bottom, hip width apart, just as we normally would do for bridge. But then reach the arms up to the straight above you, behind you on the mat. So instead of rolling onto the shoulders, we're just going to come up onto the upper back. So tuck the tailbone under, press with the feet, lift the bottom up into bridge. But with your arms here, we're focusing on pressing through the feet and squeezing the bottom. So you're not doming through the chest like we normally would do. Just using this to strengthen and stretch through the bottom, still long through the sides of the body. Keep your chin tucked in. Press through the feet. Really squeeze the buttocks so you can lift the hips high. And then as you peel your way down to the floor, bring the arms back over the top of the head so that they land on the floor at the same time as your bottom. Take a breath there, and then we do that one more time. So reach the hands up and above your head. Keep the neck long, squeeze the bottom, press through the feet, lift the buttocks up towards the ceiling, hips high. And then breathe when you get there, even though you're working. Keep the breath nice and steady. A few more moments here. Squeeze the bottom. Press to the feet so the thighs are firing up. And then release back down to the floor. Bring the arms down as well, either side of the body. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug of the knees, rock from side to side. Good. So plant the left foot on the floor. Plant the right, cross the right leg all the way over the top. Bring your arms to 90 degrees either side of the body. And then let the knees fall down to the left. Go gently. It's quite a deep twist with the knees over each other like that. So your right shoulder is likely to come away from the floor. So just imagine releasing it towards the floor. So when you've landed, try and let go in the body. There's no need to hold on now. Release the feet, the hips, the shoulder. And then press back up and change legs. So right foot on the floor, left leg crossed all the way over. Just let the knees fall down to the right now. When you get there, soften the buttocks, feet, the hips, and then the shoulder moving towards the mat. Nice stretch through the outer hips as well. Come back center. Give the knees one more hug in. And then making your way into final relaxation. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Legs stretched out or feet flat on the floor if you prefer that. So bring the hands away from the body, palms face up, feet relaxed. Just check you've got length through the back of the neck. And the head's in line with the rest of the body. So just imagine I'm coming round behind you, lengthening through the back, holding your head, lengthening through the back of the neck, and then give you a little neck massage. I'm looking forward to doing that again. So releasing and letting go of all the movements we've been doing. Softening the feet and the ankles. Really letting go of the big muscles in the thighs and the buttocks. So the pelvis is heavy on the floor. Feel the back of the hands relaxing onto the mat. The elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders. As you exhale, feel the weight of the shoulders release down to the mat, creating space across the front of the chest. Feel the vertebrae of the spine soften to their natural curve. Belly really relaxed now, sinking back towards the spine. Feel the skin of the face draping smoothly across the bones of the face. Eyes relax back into the sockets. Jaw relaxed. Bathing in the energy you've created through your movement and your breath. Feeling it suffuse your body with calm. So keeping the mind soft and relaxed, just starting to expand your awareness into the physical body. Feeling your fingers and toes. Being aware of the feeling of the air on your skin. And just starting to move a little bit, however feels good for you. Just start to stretch. Hug the knees in. If you need to stretch out the back before you roll onto the right side. Make your way up sitting when you're ready. So just taking a moment to acknowledge how you feel. Being grateful for your body that takes you through the day so faithfully. Bring the hands together. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. And hopefully that will help us with our running.